Have you ever felt a quiet ache? A sense that despite having navigated countless challenges and gathered a lifetime of wisdom, true, lasting happiness still feels just out of reach? Do you sometimes wonder why, after all these years, a deep sense of contentment can seem so elusive? Or why some days feel heavier than they should? It's a painful reality for many older adults, finding themselves less joyful than they imagined. Not because of a sudden catastrophe, but due to subtle, often overlooked patterns. These aren't grand failures, but common mistakes we might all make, often without realizing the profound impact they have on our spirit. They quietly chip away at our peace, dimming the vibrant light we carry within. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 shocking mistakes older people often make that silently destroy their happiness. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll share something truly surprising that could change your perspective entirely. Let's dive right into the first one. A mistake so common, it almost seems like an unwritten rule of aging, yet it's devastatingly effective at isolating us from happiness, the quiet retreat from social connections. As we grow older, life naturally shifts. Our work communities might dissolve, friends may move away or pass on, and our children are busy building their own lives. It's easy to fall into a pattern of staying home more, accepting fewer invitations, or simply not initiating contact. We might tell ourselves it's just how things are, or that we don't want to be a bother. But this gradual withdrawal is one of the most significant silent destroyers of happiness. Humans are inherently social creatures, built for connection. When we neglect these bonds, loneliness creeps in. And it's not just a sad feeling. It has profound impacts on our mental and physical health. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be as detrimental to your health as smoking, increasing the risk of heart disease, dementia, and depression. Think of it like a beautiful garden. For it to thrive, it needs constant tending, sunlight, and nourishment. Our social connections are the water and sunlight for our souls. If we neglect them, our inner garden withers, no matter how bright the sun is outside. So, how do we counteract this silent retreat? It starts with intentionality. Make a conscious effort to reach out. A simple phone call to an old friend, a handwritten letter to a distant relative, or an email to a former colleague can rekindle a spark. Don't wait for others to initiate. Be the one to extend the invitation. Perhaps join a local club or group that aligns with your interests. Whether it's a book club, a walking group, a card game, or a volunteer organization, senior centers and community hubs often have a wealth of activities. Even embracing new technologies can bridge distances. Learn how to video call your grandchildren or join an online community that shares your hobbies. It might feel a little awkward at first, like stepping onto a dance floor after years away. But the joy and energy you gain from those connections are immeasurable. Being open to new friendships, even if they're different from the ones you've cherished in the past, can also bring unexpected warmth and vitality into your life. Remember, connection isn't about having a huge circle of acquaintances. It's about nurturing meaningful bonds, no matter how few, that make you feel seen, heard, and valued. Now, closely linked to that first mistake, and equally capable of dimming your light, is the second pitfall: a refusal to embrace learning and adapting to the ever-changing world around us. The world doesn't stop evolving when we hit a certain age. Technology advances, social norms shift, and new ideas constantly emerge. Clinging rigidly to how things used to be, or dismissing anything new as not for me, can lead to profound frustration, a feeling of being left behind, and a sense of irrelevance. It's like trying to navigate today's bustling city with an outdated map. You'll constantly feel lost and disoriented. Your mind, just like your body, needs exercise to stay agile and vibrant. When we stop learning, our mental muscles can atrophy, making us less curious, less open, and ultimately, less engaged with life. This mental stagnation can be a huge barrier to happiness, breeding cynicism and resistance. So, what's the antidote to this resistance? Cultivate a spirit of childlike curiosity. Start small. Perhaps learn a new feature on your smartphone, or figure out how to send a photo to your family. Explore online resources for hobbies you've always wanted to try. The internet offers a vast universe of knowledge at your fingertips. From learning a new language to exploring historical documentaries or virtual tours of museums, you don't have to become a tech wizard. But understanding enough to navigate the modern world can dramatically enhance your independence and opportunities for connection. Beyond technology, challenge yourself to read different kinds of books, listen to podcasts, or engage in conversations about new topics. Be open to new perspectives, especially from younger generations. You might be surprised by what you learn. Consider picking up a new hobby that requires learning, like playing an instrument, trying a new craft, or even learning to cook a new cuisine. Flexibility in thought and action keeps your mind sharp and your spirit youthful. It's about bending with the wind, not breaking, and understanding that every day offers a new chance to discover something wonderful. It's about keeping your mind agile and your spirit open. And speaking of spirit, our next mistake touches on something even deeper, something that gives our lives meaning. That brings us to the third common mistake, one that can leave a profound void, especially after retirement or significant life changes the quiet letting go of purpose and passion. For much of our lives, our sense of purpose is often tied to our careers, raising a family, or other demanding responsibilities. When those roles diminish or disappear, it's easy to believe that our purpose has ended too. Retirement, while often anticipated with joy, can sometimes feel like crossing a finish line only to discover there's no new race to run. This aimlessness can lead to a sense of emptiness, boredom, and even depression. We are wired to contribute, to create, to learn, and to strive for something beyond ourselves. When we lose that sense of direction, even the most comfortable life can feel unfulfilling, like a beautiful ship left adrift without a rudder, never sailing towards a destination. The key to overcoming this mistake is redefining what purpose means to you now. It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. Purpose can be found in the smallest acts: nurturing a garden, mentoring someone younger, dedicating time to a beloved hobby, or contributing to your local community. Perhaps you had passions in your younger years that you set aside due to other demands. Now is the perfect time to rekindle them. Did you love to paint, play an instrument, write, or work with your hands? Dust off those old desires and give them new life. Or discover entirely new passions. Take a class, volunteer for a cause you care about, or start a small project that sparks your curiosity. Many older adults find immense satisfaction in sharing their accumulated wisdom and experience through mentorship, whether formally or informally. Simply setting small, achievable goals each day or week. Even something as simple as mastering a new recipe or completing a puzzle can provide a valuable sense of accomplishment and direction. Purpose isn't about being busy. It's about feeling significant, engaged, and like your actions matter, even if only to yourself. It's about finding that inner spark that makes you excited to wake up each morning. Now, while purpose provides direction. Another mistake, often driven by genuine concern, can paradoxically steal our present joy: the mistake of obsessing over physical decline. It is an undeniable truth that our bodies change as we age. Aches and pains may become more frequent, energy levels might shift, and certain physical feats become more challenging. It's perfectly natural and responsible to be aware of these changes and to take proactive steps to maintain health. However, the mistake lies in allowing this awareness to morph into an all-consuming obsession with what is fading or deteriorating. When we constantly focus on limitations, impending health issues, or compare our current physical state to our younger selves, we can fall into a trap of fear, worry, and even hypochondria. This relentless focus on what's going wrong overshadows all the good that remains, preventing us from appreciating our current capabilities and the joy of simply being alive. It's like staring at a single, tiny crack in a beautiful, expansive painting, and in doing so, missing the entire masterpiece before your eyes. This constant internal lament about physical changes can unnecessarily limit our activities, diminish our courage to try new things, and ultimately cast a pall over our everyday experiences. Instead of obsessing, shift your focus to what you can do, what you still possess, and how you can adapt. Celebrate every small victory, the walk you took, the delicious healthy meal you cooked, the strength you feel in your grip. Focus on function over form. It's not about looking 20 again, but about moving comfortably, maintaining independence, and feeling capable. Engage in proactive health habits, but without obsession. Sensible, enjoyable exercise, good nutrition, and regular checkups. These are acts of self-care, not battle strategies against an inevitable enemy. Practice mindfulness. Be present in your body now, appreciating its capabilities, however different they may be. If health anxiety becomes overwhelming, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Embrace adaptive strategies if a certain activity is too challenging. Find a modified version, or explore new activities that suit your current physical abilities rather than giving up entirely. Perhaps you can't run marathons anymore, but you can enjoy brisk walks or gentle yoga. The goal is to live fully within your current capacity, rather than lamenting what once was. This shift in perspective, from fear to appreciation, from loss to adaptation, is crucial for preserving your joy. While taking care of our bodies is crucial, it's equally important to nourish our inner selves. Which brings us to our fifth and final mistake, one that truly impacts our deepest sense of peace and happiness. Our fifth and final shocking mistake, and perhaps the most subtle yet profoundly damaging, is the neglect of self-compassion and inner peace. Throughout our lives, we accumulate experiences, make choices, and interact with countless people. It's natural to carry some baggage from this journey: old regrets, self-criticism, lingering grudges against others, or the belief that we aren't good enough or worthy of happiness. The mistake lies in letting these internal burdens fester, allowing them to quietly undermine our present joy. This internal turmoil saps joy from within, making external circumstances less impactful. You could have everything you ever wanted, but if you're constantly criticizing yourself, dwelling on past perceived failures, or holding on to resentment, true happiness remains out of reach. This often manifests as chronic worry, anxiety, or a cynical outlook on life, creating an inner landscape that is anything but peaceful. It's like trying to enjoy a beautiful sunny day while carrying a heavy, muddy backpack full of old bricks. The beauty is there, but the burden prevents you from fully experiencing it. The path to inner peace and self-compassion begins with forgiveness. Start with self-forgiveness. Acknowledge past mistakes, learn the lessons they offered, and then consciously choose to let go of the burden of self-blame. You are not defined by your past errors. You are defined by your capacity to learn and grow. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Even a few minutes each day of quiet reflection or focused breathing can help to quiet the busy mind. Create space between you and your thoughts, and foster a deeper sense of inner calm. A gratitude practice is also incredibly powerful. Consciously list things you are grateful for daily, shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right in your life. Letting go of grudges against others is equally important, not for their sake, but for your own liberation. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Forgive, not to condone, but to release yourself from the emotional prison of bitterness. Cultivate positive self-talk. Challenge that negative inner critic and start speaking to yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. If there are deeply unresolved issues, talking to a trusted friend, family member, or a professional therapist can provide invaluable support in processing and releasing them. Embrace your imperfections, understanding that life is a continuous journey, and bumps and detours are simply part of the ride. Your worthiness of happiness is inherent, not something to be earned. So, we've talked about pulling back from connection, resisting new ideas, losing sight of purpose, getting caught up in physical worries, and neglecting our own inner kindness. Each of these, while seemingly small, can cast a long shadow over your happiness. But here's the beautiful truth, and perhaps the most surprising part of all: you have the power, right now, to change course. You don't need a medical breakthrough or a lottery win to reclaim your joy. It's not about grand gestures, but often about tiny, consistent shifts in perspective and action. You are still growing, still evolving, and still capable of immense joy. Small changes truly can make the biggest difference in your health, your well-being, and most importantly, your happiness. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you recognized any of these patterns in yourself or someone you know? What steps have you taken to counteract them? And what has worked for you? Share your wisdom in the comments below. Your experience could be just what someone else needs to hear to take that first brave step. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find this message and begin their own journey towards greater happiness. And for more practical tips and inspiring conversations about living your richest, happiest life at every age, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Remember, you are not just getting older, you are becoming more. Embrace every moment, learn every day, connect deeply, find your passion, and treat yourself with the same kindness you offer others. Go forth and live your best life at every age. You truly deserve all the happiness the world has to offer.